welcome back to my channel. Let's make homemade yeast rolls. But before we do all that, I want you to go to stovetopkitchen.com and grab my cookbook. Let's get started, y'all. So I'm gonna start with some warm milk. I will list the recipe in the description box below. Don't you worry about that. And some honey, because I want my yeast rolls to be a little sweet. And then I'm gonna add my yeast to that, and then we're gonna just allow the yeast to bloom for about 5 minutes. So after we add our yeast and let it stir, we're gonna set it to the side for about 5 minutes to let it bloom. Okay. Then we're gonna add a little bit of salt to that. Then we're gonna add 2 egg yolks, not the entire egg, just the yolks. I feel like the yolks just make it nice and just buttery and just delicious. That's what I like. Okay, then I'm going to add about 8 tablespoons of butter, I think. The recipe will be in the description box below. Don't worry. And then we're going to add our flour to that, about 5.5 cups. And then what we're going to do is we are going to do these by hand, because I realized that y'all don't have probably a KitchenAid. So I'm going to do this by hand for y'all. I'm going to do for you what Martin did for the people. Okay, so we're going to just stir this up really, really nice and slow, because we don't want to overwork the dough, y'all. So make sure you take your time and just fold it just like that until it comes together just like this right here. Okay, and once that, look at those little people behind me. And then what we're going to do is going to flour our surface. Now I was lazy and I didn't want to mess up my counter, so I decided to try to put it on the pan, but that did not work for me. Okay, watch and see. Just watch this. See how that pan moving? Don't be lazy. Just, flour your surface. Make sure it's clean. And then you can knead the dough just like this. See how nice and easy that is? Just like that. So we're going to knead our dough by hand for about 5 to 6 minutes, y'all, till it becomes nice and smooth, okay? We want it to feel almost like Play-Doh. It's going to feel really good. If your dough is sticky, just add a little bit of flour to it and just knead the dough. You see, I am taking the heel of my hand and I'm just pressing toward the dough, and I'm just, kneading it really, really good and caressing it. And just massaging it. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure this dough gets nice and smooth, and it feels just like Play-Doh almost. And then we're going to just put into a little ball. I'm going to take a bowl and grease it up, and I'm going to put my dough in there just so our dough stays nice and moist. We don't want to create a skin. Okay, then we're going to cover it up and we're going to let it rest for about 45 minutes to an hour. We want to let the dough rest. You got to do that. That's important. Now that the dough has rested, we're going to go ahead and just start forming our yeast rolls. So I'm going to take the dough out and put it onto a flour surface. Make sure you flour your surface so that the dough does not stick. And I'm just going to form it into like a little rectangle shape, taking a pizza cutter, or you can take a knife. It's up to you, and just form little strips just like that. Now this totally depends on you now. However you want, however big you want your rolls to be. I wanted mine to be a nice size but not too big, so I made about 18 balls. But I'm just forming it into little balls just like that. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If you want to just bake it into the strips, you totally can. But as you can see, I'm just kind of folding the dough over and pinching it, just like you would almost do if you were making mozzarella. We're going to do a video on that too, y'all. I'm trying to be fancy. But yeah, we're just going to form it into just little balls just like that. Just like that. And like I said, if you want, just keep them just like this and just bake them and like with the little strips you see there. That's totally fine. So now I'm going to take a greased pan. I'm just going to put the balls in there. Now we need to let the dough rest one more time for about 20 minutes. Y'all, this is so important. Please don't skip this step. You have to do that. Now that they have rested for about 20 minutes, we're going to take equal parts melted butter and equal parts honey. This is up to you. However much honey you want that flavor to be socked up in there, then you can add a whole lot of honey if you want it to be real sweet, however you want to do it. And then we're just going to brush the rolls with that. Make sure that the butter is nice and melted, because it's going to dissolve that honey and it's going to give those rolls a beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, so that's what you want. You want to look fancy, okay? Make sure you get them edges too, just like a good weave. And we're going to bake these on 375 for 15 minutes. They're going to come out and they're going to look just like that. Then what you want to do now, you want to take that glaze that you made, that melted butter and that honey, you want to pour that right on top just like that, like I'm doing. Just take your time and do it right, child. And look at that. Look what we did. We made homemade yeast rolls, and they are so good, so buttery, and so fluffy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.